This week, 880 new stalls were installed around the United States and Canada, bringing the total stalls to 54,436, or 30% of the goal of 180,000 that is said going to be needed by 2030. Blink added 8 stations, Red E added 4 stations, Pilot Flying J added 3 stations, Tesla added 49 stations, which constitutes 688 stalls. So apparently there was a bit of a data glitch that they corrected, and now we've got a massive amount of new Tesla stations. Electrify America added 1 station, ChargePoint added 25 stations, EVgo added 6, EVconnect added 9. Let's go ahead and get into the data. First is Blink, and nothing really to call out here. I did have some back and forth with Blink, with a Blink employee. He was one of the higher ups, talking about why the dates are so erratic, although the entries into the database are sequential. And it looks like what's going on is because Blink is a CPO that is often engaged by property owners to install DC fast chargers on their property, those owners have control whether or not the stations are listed as public or not. And what happens is when a owner switches a station to being public, it gets pushed into this alternative fuels data center database. So that's where that distinction is coming from. Nothing really to call out here. There are 3 2-stall stations and 5 1-stall stations at mostly dealerships. Ready added 4. And there is a 6-stall Ready station in Massachusetts. Southwest Massachusetts has got a 4-stall. Valvoline Express Care, that's interesting. Okay, the next one is Pilot Flying J. They added 3, and the date is 8/29, but this Tifton just opened today, and Toledo opened a little bit before then, but regardless, 3 stations open. Pilot Flying J is definitely going through a very active phase, and multiple new sites have been spotted under construction since I did my update just earlier this week. So there's tons of activity going on in Pilot Flying J. And Tesla. So we had not seen a lot of activity out of Tesla, so apparently they hired some intern to enter this data, and they were browsing their cell phone all day instead of doing the job that they were hired to do, and intern went back to school, and some pro took the seat and cleaned up the data or something. I don't know what's going on. I was just speculation on my part. All right, so tons of large stations. Here's a 20-stall station in Park City, Utah. You'll see on the next page. There's 3 pages of this. On the next page, you'll see a couple of 40 stalls. But Tesla doing Tesla stuff. And you'll look at the open date here. So there was a lot of misses, but if I populated out the column that shows the ID, these are sequentially being added into the database, and they were all just added in the past week. So they were going through and doing some cleanup. Oh, the sheets in Morrisville. This is one that I did a site visit video for. It's got a solar canopy, and it's right next to the Raleigh-Durham International Airport. Page 2. As you can see, here's a 40-stall station in Fort Pierce. One of my viewers chimed in mentioning that this station had opened, and now here it is showing in the database. Another 40-stall in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. A 32-stall in San Jose, California. But wait, there's more, because there's a 12-stall that opened in San Jose, California. So they did a double whammy there. A couple of 20s in California. And then on the next page, it's kind of interesting. They have a couple of 4-stall stations, which is very rare for Tesla to install a 4-stall station. Regardless, Niagara Falls, Ontario, it's got a 20-stall station, a whole bunch of 12s. So anyway, I've got a Tesla Supercharger getting ready to open up a few miles from my house, and it's V4 dispensers right next to a Starbucks, so looking forward to that showing up here. Next one is Electrify America. They opened one similar to last week, so I'm thinking they're starting to enter into the database, and I checked. They're not doing anything historical yet, but we do have this new one in Albertville, Minnesota, 6 stalls, opened just yesterday at a Simon Mall property. And here's ChargePoint. I did coalesce the locations. Century Ford has 6. This constitutes 3 ChargePoint Express Pluses. So Medford, Massachusetts has a Ford dealership with 6 stalls being delivered by a ChargePoint Express install. Pretty impressive there. Ford is, again, going above and beyond expectations. Otherwise, usual suspects, nothing that I've been keeping my eye on. ChargePoint for basically Mercedes-Benz Charging Hubs and Love's Travel Centers are the 2 primary ones. There's a few others, but those are the 2 primary ones. Nothing yet. EVgo added 6, and I would like to call out Lakeside, California, 10 stalls. Now, obviously, Tesla doing its 40 stall gig and 30 stall, 32 stalls, whatever. It doesn't compare to that, but for EVgo, a 10 stall installation is about as big as it gets. That is a very large install for EVgo. They also have Texas, Arizona, and Glen Ellen, Virginia. This is, I believe, just outside of Richmond. I've had my eye on this one. If that's the one I'm thinking of, I'll have to go take a look in PlugShare. Here's EV Connect. Again, usual suspects. Cadillac of Clearwater, 1 stall. There is an 8 stall in Roseville, California. That's a pretty big one for them. And also Golden, Colorado has a 4 stall. A couple of 6 stalls. Plano, Illinois. Wakefield, Massachusetts. Doesn't identify what the property is, just the street address. It's interesting. And as an honorable mention, I want to talk about Shell Recharge. A while ago, they purchased Volta. And I noticed this week they had about 200 rows of new entries of level 2 chargers. And when I dug into that, those were all Voltas. And these are all, as well, the DC fast chargers from that acquisition, all entered into the database, all on the 28th. And when you look at the database, there's just a really large chunk of Shell Recharge. Most of them are level 2, a couple of them are level 1, that's what these are, and apparently they went through and they grabbed all the data and they threw it in the database now that the acquisition is complete. Thanks for watching.